actually get started. There's going to be more people joining. But let's start. Allow your feet to touch. And then working our way from the bottom to the top. Feel the whole surface of your foot on the ground. Feel all of your toes, your heel. Feel the arch inside of your foot. And then expand your ankles. Find the center for where your ankles should be. And then working your way up, can you relax your knees? If your feet and ankles are activated, it should be more easy to relax the knees. And then working up from there, check your hips. We want to make sure they're straight in 3 axes. We want them to be level this way. And we don't want them to be tilted forward or backwards. It should be sitting. And then left and right. So there's 3 different axes. Get that correct. And then using the center so that you can allow your back to relax. Imagine that the front is straight and the back is relaxed. Relax your shoulders. And if we leave the structure too relaxed, we get this mounting. So even though the shoulders are relaxed, we're pushing up through the back of the neck. And then is your chin tucked? Can you keep your chin further back? Relax the face. And then there's power all the way to the head top. From here, breathing. Bring the hands together in the center. And then going from the top to the bottom. So with the head top pushing up, relax the brow, open the vision, open your breathing more. Check the corners of the mouth are activated. Tongue is connected to the upper palate. Relax your jaw, and then push the jaw straight back so the head top can be up. Recalibrate your neck, relax your shoulders. Feel the space in your armpit so that the energy is round. Relax your tailbone. When I say that, I'm using the same generic terminology. We could say find the right position for your tailbone. The feeling is as if you have something hanging from a chain, and so the top of the chain is up here, and the tailbone, the sacrum here at the base, is weighted so that it's relaxed with gravity. And then from your tailbone, we're going to skip the legs, make a connection from your tailbone to your toes, so that the more you activate your toes, the more that you can rest that lower portion. And then we're going to do some breathing. Starting from the center, inhaling, lift the base of the torso, closing the front. Again, the breathing pattern is a recommendation. If you know of a better breathing pattern, keep working. You can use it. Most people in here are reading books on Qigong, Kung Fu, Tai Chi, and that's good. You should be reading something. So these books present many ideas for breathing. You can use the same movement as a container for the breathing practice. If you forget what the book says, or it's too early in the morning, you can just practice something very simple. Lift the base of the torso, close the stomach, and on the exhale, let everything relax. Slow down just a little bit. And we're keeping the Tai Chi ideas the whole time. So while we're practicing, especially if you're doing the sit-stand activity, and then remember to stretch. So at the top, when you're reaching all the way up, you can't see my hands, but stretch the whole body, and then to the sides, also reaching all the way out to the sides, back down to the base. Do 3 more from wherever you're at. And once you finish, when you reach the base on the far side or on the near side, bring your feet back together and then recalibrating with Tai Chi Harmony. So go back through the body and check head top. The face is relaxed, the vision is open. Breathing is effortless. The tongue is connected to the upper palate. The chin is tucked. Ears are over top of the shoulders. Shoulders roll back and relax. There's space in the armpit. Let your shoulders, elbows, wrists relax. The center is supporting so that the lower back can open and the tailbone can be sinking with gravity. The knees, we don't have the knees locked, so they should have some flexion in them. And then the ankles have power, gripping the feet. And the same thing, I use the term gripping the feet a lot. And we can, while we stand here, you can check. Can you grip your feet twice as much as you're gripping them now? And so keep them gripped twice as much. And then from that point, can you grip them twice as much more? Keep them locked. And just when you think you have the most, can you grip them twice as much again? And then let everything completely relax. See if you can find the center of gravity between the feet. So as if your center line goes down, and that all of that weight is balanced between the square that you stand on. So find the center of the square. And if your toes are relaxed, we talked about gripping twice as much. If they're completely relaxed, if you take them completely offline, just activate them 10%. So finding the correct amount is what we're looking for. When we're practicing Tai Chi, we want to have a 50-50, a balance between having the extra grip and not enough grip. Let's warm up a little bit and do some Tai Chi. Starting from the head top, just turning. Imagine that your head is a grapefruit in a shopping bag, and you're just going to let it turn around. So let gravity do the work. Breathing deep with the same long breathing that we started with. and then change directions. When you come back to the center, do a few shoulder rolls. With this one, try to make the circle as large as you can, and it's starting from the dantian. So have the feeling of your center in mind. Like the movement is coming from the belly button, moving outwards, so that you can get the rib cage involved, get your back, shoulder blades, collarbones, moving the whole torso. And keep your neck straight, power going to the head top, so that we can use the center line as a post around which to turn the material. Change directions if you have to do some going the other way. Same long breathing to start. And then on these next one, when we alternate, it's important to keep the center line straight. We don't want to twist the center line. So whether you can see a mirror, whether you can see the camera, whatever you can feel it internally, pushing up through the head top, and the same thing, using as much of the torso to turn the shoulder as possible. Remember, just like we did the exercise with the toes, are you carrying a lot of tension while you do this exercise in your shoulders, or can you actually relax it? Do we change going the other direction? If we haven't, do some going the other way. Remember the long breathing that we started with. Next, we're going to do something. I haven't taught this one before, so it's possible that Aaron knows it because this one came from Gene, but this is something to open the collarbones and the shoulders. And we have this idea in Tai Chi of this circular shape, and this circular shape should be one piece, like one piece of metal that's sprung all the way through the back. So when we do this next exercise, we're going to start with the feet. I don't know if you can see because of the sunlight, but just a regular square step. I'm turning my square 45 so that you can see it. So we have one foot shoulder width wide, the other foot is shoulder width deep, and so we have a square. And then we're going to turn the one toe up, just like when we do this stretching exercise. So with this toe up, if we have the hands in the front this way, like in the first section, we have this movement, right? Soe, Pipa, play the guitar, something like this. But what we're going to do next is to unroll the arms, is bring this up, facing backwards, so that your palms are facing out. Try to keep your shoulders relaxed, and the hands are in the center. So standing here as such, we're going to turn this into a moving exercise. So if you see my shape, my feet, if I'm facing the camera, I'm going to open the standing foot just a bit. And as I set it down, I'm going to unroll my arms from the collarbones, from the shoulder blades in the back. And as I step the foot, turning the hands back to back, right? One on top of the other, directly in the center line. So now, from here, changing to the other side, I'm going to open the foot, unroll the hands, shift my weight forward, and step. So this is, if you remember, an exercise we did a few weeks ago. We've done it a few times, where we're standing as if we're holding this round shape, and then we invert the feet, we extend the arms and unroll the body as such, right? How many here have seen that one? We've done that a few times. What we're doing right now is the same thing, but we're doing it with Tiso Sanshi or Soe Pipa, this one. where we have the hands in the front. We're gonna unroll them so that they're backwards, so that we have all of this upper torso turned, but we want it to be able to relax. So we're practicing turning around this shape. Let's do a few of them. Why are we doing this here? Because in the warm-up, a lot of times I like to work from the top to bottom. We've mentioned before in this class, basic acupuncture theory, acupressure theory, traditional Chinese medicine. When you're working on the person, you want to work from top to bottom. So you can imagine like a tube that you want to squeeze goes from the top to the bottom. The same principle applies to the smaller aspects. If you have something in the arm, you want to get the energy moving out. Yes, there are meridians that move in the other direction. There are meridians that move up. This is a general rule of thumb. So we're doing this one because we want to use it to open the shoulders and the back in this way. So getting this rotating without having to compromise the posture or bend. So take, as if you're doing this, we can actually start like we're doing the form. If I'm facing north and I have hook and single whip, we turn the feet and we land with Soe Kipa, or lift hands to up posture. From here, I'm opening the foot 45 degrees and rolling forward to stand on it, and then changing my hands the other direction so that they're facing each other. And if you watch my shoulders, keep the back straight, the tailbone relaxed, and then changing the other direction. Breathing. So to do this continuously, we can use a straight line. If you have a small space, you can work at an angle. But what I want you to do is each time that you arrive, check, is the head top up, the neck is straight, the tongue is in the correct place, the jaw is relaxed, the shoulders are relaxed, the dantian is supporting, the tailbone is hiding, the feet are activated correctly. Unroll, grip the ground, arms go to about shoulder level, and then allow them to settle, the shoulders, elbows, and wrists sinking. The weight is about 90-10. You're mostly on the rear foot, the front foot's just for balance and stability. You can time it with the breathing. You don't have to, but really when I want you to unroll the shoulders all the way from the top with the palms facing out to the side. So open, roll forward, grip your foot, step forward. And come back to the center. This, the idea for this one is to unroll as if we're, this unrolling action that happens can just happen at the wrist, can just happen at the forearm, can just happen at the shoulder, and it can happen all the way up here. So this turning. In fact, just try some without the footwork. Try to keep your shoulders relaxed and turning from your collarbones all the way into the center. This is the feeling we want to have when we're doing Tai Chi, the arms moving all the way through. Next, let's continue. Make your feet parallel. Relax your tailbone as if we're sitting the lower body down, and we're just turning around the center. So keep your head top upright. And we want to avoid this shifting side to side, unless it's your intention. If you like to change the weight from one side to the other, that's okay. But otherwise, have the root pushing up through the head top and feeling the same sensation we said earlier, where the tailbone is like an anchor sinking down. So keep doing this one, breathing. You can turn more or less. You can turn smaller movement. The smaller movement, there should be some change in the abdomen. So as you keep working, turning around the center line. And the feeling that we want to have while we're practicing this is a Tai Chi concept. It's talked about in the Tai Chi classics. TC used to refer to it as well, is the feeling of a stretched bow. So imagine, keep working, keep turning, remember the breathing. Imagine you have a bow, right? You have a bow and arrow and you're gonna shoot something. The bow is there, and then you have the string. This is even talked about in the I Ching, the Tao Te Ching. The bow is pulled, and the string is pulled in two different directions. And the more that it's pulled in those two different directions, the more power that center line has. That bow, the more potential. So if you can really relax your tailbone, you can grip your feet more. Because we're exercising and not trying to practice a perfect movement, you can lock your feet to the ground and push your head top up. See if you can relax your head, neck, and shoulders while you're pushing your head top up. And these are the 2 points of the bow. So keep working. So the more that you can sink this down, the more that you can push this up. This is also the same if you relax for a second. If we, in the Tai Chi form, we have sometimes we have a punch. So we have this kind of punching power. The same is true with the punch. The moment that we release the power, if the tailbone is as sunk as it can be and the head top is as raised up as the highest point and the arm is turning, right? There's this dynamic, the power is going forward. If those 3 points become stretched, then the power at the front is maximum, right? So when we think about if we need to move power through the body, we want to straighten that bow as much as we can. So the same, we've been looking at Snake flashing his tongue, this turn, right? If the center line is straight, then this triangular structure from here to here to here, moving forward, will be very powerful. So this is a Tai Chi principle, not just keeping the center line, but keeping power going to both ends. What are we doing? Oh, turning. So on this next one, we are going to shift from one side to the other. I want you to lock the standing leg and let the turning leg turn around the foot so that the ankle, knee, and hip all stay in line. You can start slow. Grip the feet, the standing foot, breathing deep. And so try to keep your hips and your jawline facing forward. So this is, again, there's a Tai Chi structure. We have a relaxation, but there's also palm. There's also this expanded structure internally. So we don't want to just floating to the side here. Because we could do that and it may be okay for relaxation, but in Tai Chi we want to have the combination. And then next, let's actually turning around the hips. And with this one, try to keep your upper body and lower body as 2 distinct pieces and keep them as uniform as possible. So we're not bending the neck, we're not bending the spine. And the same thing with the legs, as if there's one split in the middle, one break directly in the middle. And then change directions, going the other direction. Let's do a little bit of bending at the waist. So grip your feet, push your tailbone away, relax your spine, relax your shoulders, your head top, your hands, your wrists, your arms. See if you can get your head top to point all the way to the ground.
Remember to breathe while you're upside down. And when you're ready, grip your feet, unroll your spine, use your center, breathing, inflating all the way up. And relax. How many of you feel a head rush when we do that? Yes, no? It feels normal? You don't get any blood moving to the top of the head? All right, let's actually do another one then. So grip the feet, push the tailbone back and away, relax your spine, relax your head top, relax your arms, as if you're folding yourself in half over top of something. If your feet touch the ground, you can walk them forwards or backwards. Try to let your head and neck fully relax. Breathing deep, feel your back and see if you can feel the energy, the blood, the chi moving towards your head top with gravity. Remember to breathe, inflating. When you're ready, grip the ground to send energy to the bottom of your legs, and then breathing to inflate. We're going to fill the whole body. Keep expanding like one of those wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube men all the way up, and then relax. Okay, now how many people feel something going to their head top? Yeah, okay. Maybe you got to hold it there for a second. So let's do something else for the legs when we're doing the hip turns. The same thing, if I have my square shape and I turn one of the feet up, if I push my tailbone back and away, you can use the standing leg to support. We're going to stretch out the hamstrings on the back side of the leg. Either leg, doesn't matter. Keep your spine straight. Breathing, see how many of the Tai Chi ideas you can remember. The head top is up, the tailbone is down. You're using your center to support. We have long breathing. The shoulders are relaxed. Gripping the toes, lifting the base of the torso while we breathe. How many can you recall? And then coming up, set the foot down. We're going to change, putting the other foot forward. I'm going to turn just a little bit so you get the idea. Push the tailbone back and away. Breathing deep. Reaching out. You can use this hand. By the way, if you're worried about your balance, if you ever get concerned about your balance, you can use wall, chair, anything that you need to support. So straighten your back and your neck. Use your center to support. It's easier. Grip the standing foot. Let everything else relax. Remember to breathe while we stretch, and then come back up on your own. Remember, you can inflate to breathe just like when we're coming up from the inversion. Before we continue, anyone have thoughts, questions, comments, ideas? Cool. Well, you know what we should do? We should do one more thing first, which is both balance and ankle. So to get the ankle, we want to get the ankle into its most extended position while keeping it parallel to the floor. So we're going to start with a small triangle. If your feet are parallel together, gripping the standing foot, push your other foot forward and keep it flat to the ground. If you have the leg strength, you can sink, but you should be keeping your hips level, and then come back to the center and change to the other side. So gripping the standing foot, push this foot forward, keep it flat to the ground, but it's floating. So it's just sitting just above the ground. And then bring your feet back together. By the way, when we practice this one, don't let your knees go out to the side. If I'm facing the camera directly, we want to keep the feet together because you don't want this, right? And we don't want it to cave in the other way. So now, if the feet are together, if they go forward, now move it directly out to the side. And the same thing with this, we don't want to start to change the shape over here. This is to develop leg strength. So only move it out to the side as much as you can keep
the hips parallel and locked. Once they start to shift or the hip goes out, to maintain the balance or the foot loses its, so we're looking to keep the perfect Tai Chi posture like we're in Tai Chi harmony, and simply take one leg and move it without having to compromise the structure to counterbalance the other way, right? Next one, the other point of the triangle is in the back. So gripping the ground, push your foot all the way, the heel. But the same thing, we don't want to have to lift this hip. You only want to be able to push as much as you can, keep it parallel to the ground, some small distance above the ground, then bring it back to the center. Same thing on the other side, gripping the ground. And then bring it back to the center. Send it out to the side without affecting your structure. And then bring it back to the center. And then pushing it straight back. Try not to turn your hips and not to change your neck. And then come back to the center. Oh, right, yeah, that was just, so this one, you can feel your ankle, like you're pushing the gas pedal or brake with one side. The same thing, if we're moving this out to the extents, your ankle should be reaching a particular type of extent set. So forward, side, back, and then the other side, forward. So not only is this good for balance, practicing the standing leg, but also opening the foot, practicing footwork. Now, let's do some Tai Chi. Let's do all three sections. I think we have time, plenty of time, unless you have a request commentary. I have to remember there's a thing here, so when I'm over there, I may move around just a little bit. So starting from the center, by the way, if so that we can start to get directionality, one thing that Tai Chi is good for is improving your cartology skills, cartography, building maps, right? So north and south, if when I'm facing away from the camera, that's north, and when I'm facing the camera, that's a south, and east and west are this way. This is, by the way, how we teach the form when we're teaching it in real life. When we teach in the park or at the Y, we're using the same idea of directions. This is talked about in the Tai Chi classics. In fact, Tai Chi, the 8 powers of Tai Chi, can be divided based on how they're incoming and outgoing. So for those of you that know the form, we have ward off, roll back, press, and push as the first 4 sort of powers of Tai Chi. And those are all considered straight line power, something that comes in directly from north, south, east, or west. And the other 4, hook, split, shoulder bump, and elbow, those 4 are considered diagonal. So power is coming if we're using our square shape. This is another reason to use the square as the basis for the step, is to understand Tai Chi power. So if something's coming from the corner this way, from the southwest, I send it to the northeast. And so those 4 in the cardinal directions and those 4 in the diagonals make the Ba Gua. And this is another theoretical way to understand Tai Chi. Today, we're going to practice a different way, which is Tai Chi Chuan. So facing north, using the direction of north, grip your feet, and then calibrate, relax your shoulders, relax your tailbone, push your neck up to the top. We're going to open shoulder width wide. Sink your tailbone. Breathing deep. This is grasp the sparrow's tail. Square step forward. Ward off. Breathing. This is grasp the sparrow's tail. Left, step forward. Ward off. Right. Breathing deep. Turn 90 degrees. Roll back. Join the palms together. Press north. This is G. Long push. The hands work together as one piece. On. Turning just the torso, look left. Glance right. Hips are level. Neck is straight. Schwang. On. Double push. Shifting. Power is moving at a diagonal. Grip the ground. Hook. Square step forward. Everything arrives at the same time. Turning back to the north, this is T-saw. Split, square step, roll up. We're going to turn 90 degrees to the west. This is crane. Opening the wings. Soe Kipa. Brush knee. Press. We repeat that portion of crane, stepping back. Split. Turning. Like turning a big wheel. Brush. Press to the center. This is holding the moon in the chest. Step square and punch. Ban Lan Shui. Breathing deep. Press to the corner. Grip your foot, square step. Punch. Ru Feng. Si Bi. As if an enclosure, turn. Press once. Press twice. We're going to turn to the north. This is return tiger to the mountain. We're continuing to the second set. So bring the feet together. The left foot forms a T. Turning due south. Palm press to the center. Breathing deep. This is roll back. Join the palms together. This is press. Push. Look left. Glance right. Double press. Horizontal. Split hands. We're facing east for hook. We're going to turn 180 to face west. This is turn back to look at the moon. Left hand covers. Right hand covers. Left hand through the center, spear fist. Breathing deep. This is repulse the monkey. Step back. And press. Breathing. This is bowing hook. 2. 1 more. 3. Opening to the side. This is share fate. Needle at the bottom of the sea. Santon Bay. Stepping forward. Turn. Block. Punch. Hit. I'm facing east. My square step, the feet lined up parallel. East and west. Punch. Keep your spine vertical. This is all on the legs. Debout. Looking forward, changing step. Breathing deep. Roll back. press. Push. Look left, glance right. Double press, horizontal split. Hook, side whip. This is cloud hands in the second section. Keep the arms round the whole time. Never extending to full straight arm. Number 2, breathing. 3 of 3. Hook. Corner whip. This is Gautama. Avoid. Make contact. Advance. Turning to the south. Left hand catches. Right side turns over. Turning to the east. There's a scoop. Brush. Press to the center. Brush knee. C-step to the square. Palm press to the center. Brush knee. Straight step. Punch. When we turn, block, punch, kick. Line is open. Square step. Shui. This is called Zou Hua. Kick. And then big roll back. We want to try to keep everything vertical the whole time. Breathing deep. Grip your feet. Your legs have to be strong to keep the upper body vertical. Left foot steps behind the right. This is scoop the moon from the ocean. Kick. Brush. Power traveling along the backs of the hands, 2 winds in the ear, stepping back. Breathing. This is kick left. Turning 360, 1, 2, 3, connect with the right side. Kick with the right side, block, punch, kick, square step, breathing, 1. Shui, Ru Feng, 4 比. Return tiger to mountain. We're transitioning to the third section. Bring the right side to the left. Left side forms a T. Step square, facing due south, palm press, breathing deep to roll back. Keep the arms round, press. Take your time, push. Look left, glance right, double press, split. We're facing east. This is hook, side whip. This is wild horse parting its mane. Grip your feet, right side rises, square step, expand. Breathing, left side sinks, left side rises, expand. One more. Breathing, Yama Fazang, wild horse parting its mane, number 3. And then we're returning again to roll back. Still facing east, Chi, press, on, push, so, yo pan, double push, horizontal, split, This is hook. This is side whip. So we're facing north. And this is the beginning of four corners. So we're going to turn 45 degrees and press to the northeast. Breathing deep, looking first, then turning. Press. Breathing, turning 90 degrees to the southwest. Press. One more. Turn. Press. Left, grasp the sparrow's tail. I'm moving east. Press. And then square step forward. Press forward. Breathing. This is push. It's like we skipped a roll back. Look left. Glance right. Double press. Horizontal. Split. Hook. This is a corner whip. So I'm facing the west. This is snake. Creeps down. Number one. Turning to Jinji Duli. Breathing. Grip the ground. This is Jinji Duli number two. And we go straight into repulse the monkey. One. Down inhale, scoop. Step back. Press. Repulse the monkey number three. Scoop. Step forward. Sherfei is diagonal flying, shoulder bump. The left hand and right foot go forward. Sen Tong Bei. Block, punch, kick, square step facing east. Lan is open. Shui, punch. Keep your head top upright. Di Bu Hua, sinking. Shang Bu Yi. Change step, roll back. Breathing deep. Press. Push. Look left. Glance right. Double press. Horizontal split hands. Hook. This is side whip, cloud hands in the third section. So press, and then press and step. Press, step, and press. Gripping and releasing your toes correctly. Grip, press, step, grip, press, hook. This is corner whip, turning to the west. Snake flashing his tongue, shift back, cover, forward. Turning 180, kick, cross kick, step square, brush, punch low, half, fold knees, change step, return to deep breathing to roll back. Horizontal split hands. The owl shows hook. This is a corner whip, turning to the west. Second snake creeps down, and this time we're turning back west, square step, step up to 7 stars. We're going to turn 90 degrees to the front, to the north. This is Hua Hu. Turning 180 to the south, This is Bai Lian. Wong Kong. Surfu is open the bow to shoot a tiger, block, punch, kick, square step forward, breathing deep, Lan. Shui, Ru Feng. Press, press, turning back to the north. This is return tiger to mountain. Blocking, punch right and left. Bring your left side back to the right. Bring your hands back to the center. Take a deep breath. How do you feel? Questions, comments? You see, what happens is once we get into the third section, that it's when you feel the energy moving, you want to go faster. You want to do something different. So the goal for Tai Chi is to contain it, just like if you drive a car that recycles the power, the same thing. When you feel that energy, just putting it right back into the center. So this is Tai Chi, this is a Qigong. In fact, TC would say that the correct full length for the name is Tai Chi Chuan Qigong. By the way, one aspect we should be very clear about, the word Chuan in the Mandarin describes a boxing art. Chuan literally means fist. So the same way we might say we have MMA boxing, we have Tai Chi boxing, right? So this is the idea. And without the martial arts movement, it's just Tai Chi Qigong without having the fist. So a lot of times people say, I have a difficult time remembering what this posture is. And the reason is because you may remember the movement or some aspect of the movement, but you need to have an idea in mind of how you can be using it for self-defense. And whether that self-defense is another person, whether it's some people have these really big dogs and they like to jump up, and the owners are cool with it. They want to say, oh, my curious dog wants to meet you. Well, you know, when the dog is jumping up, you can use these to defend yourself. Or whether it's something very simple, there's a door, very heavy sliding glass door. You need to move it with just one hand, right? Something without using a lot of effort and protect our body. This is where the boxing art is. There's some self-defense. So to really learn the movements, you have to understand what's happening as far as the martial art goes. Otherwise, we're just doing Qigong. This is okay. This is an okay practice. So there's basically 4 tiers of things that you can be doing while you're doing Tai Chi Qigong. Is the very base level, you can be getting a health benefit from it. You can cultivate energy, make more energy than you started with, and feel better, open your meridians and stay healthy. It's the very most basic. There's the next level up is learning self-defense. You learn the meanings of the postures. You're not just waving, doing a hula dance, but you have some idea, and there's a meaning when you want to go to punch, right? So that's a martial art. The next level up is you start to learn how the energy moves through the body. So you learn acupuncture, you can learn acupressure, qigong, even just using your hand, your fingertips to do the work. And the next level up is the other, whether it's a spiritual, religious, mystical practice, just something that goes into the category that's the other. And these are the 4 tiers. You should be getting something out of each of these when you practice Tai Chi. It's more difficult when we're not in person to practice punching or techniques where we have to deal with another person's arm or how to where to hit, that type of thing. But in the future, moving forward into the next year, when you have questions, if there's a posture that you don't know about, if you ask about it, we can review it a few times because then it will stick. And if it sticks, then you have it. And if you have it, then you can build on it. So yeah, that's basically my idea for teaching the boxing art. Otherwise, the Qigong is good for energy. We have about 1 minute left. So unless there's any questions, comments, ideas. We're going to close with some breathing. So take a nice, comfortable horse stance, starting on one side or the other, breathing all the way up to the center. We're still trying to keep the Tai Chi ideas. And exhaling. Imagine like a three-dimensional clock. Make your center line very straight and solid, and then turning around. On this one, watch your knees, protect your knees. I can only see Aaron's knees, so make sure that they're not turning. Lock your lower body, or just turning is fine. You can make the breathing match the movement, but you don't have to. And what is a Qigong? So we asked, what is Tai Chi Chuan? What is the Qigong in the Mandarin? Is the energy work or breath work. And so what makes something a Qigong is you have breathing. You have a breathing pattern. We talk about lifting the pelvic floor and using your abdominal muscles. But your breathing pattern, the breathing strategy, for instance, can be no strategy. You can say, we'll go for a freeform style, and you put your mind offline for the breathing. That's still a pattern. And then you have a movement. If you're sitting meditating and there's no movement, that's not a Qigong, that's a meditation. But if you're doing a movement, whether it's walking, whether it's raising your arms up and down, turning them around the center, or something as simple as tapping your toe with the intention of using it for Qigong, then you have a movement. And lastly, you have something in your mind. So you have something to concentrate on. Even if you choose not to concentrate on nothing, you've chosen to concentrate on something. On this next one, change directions. So when you reach the base on the other side, remember to protect your knees by gripping your toes. Specifically on this one, on this kind of exercise, the big toe on the opposite foot. So as you turn the opposite way, grip the big toe, and change. So you have a breathing strategy, you have a movement, and you have something in your mind, you have a meditation. This is what makes a Qigong. I'm not counting, and I'm actually also not watching the time. So wherever you're at, just bring it back to the center. As you reach the center, let your hands float. So feel as if your arms are floating, how lightweight you can make them. And then bring your feet together back in the center. We're going to calibrate one last time, hands together in the center. Check the ends of the bow that the head top is going all the way up, and the energy is sinking all the way down to the feet. Like your body is one piece, like one container. One of the secrets to Qigong says, can you let your dust settle? Can you let the dust settle? And this is, imagine you have a jar of water, and it has some silt, some gold dust at the base. And when you shake it up, it's full and cloudy. And then as you let it sit, everything congeals at the base with gravity. So the same thing with the Qigong. Put your mind into the center. You can close your eyes at least 99% of the way. Put your focus on the center and imagine all the energy, all the activity, all of the movement working its way back to your center as if dust settling at the base with gravity. Take one long, last deep breath to your center as you imagine all the Qi going there. And then internally, take a second to smile to yourself. Take a second to give thanks to yourself. And that's it. It's a little bit past, so if you've got to go, it's time. It's 9:34. So if you have questions, comments, ideas, you can email me, text me as usual. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian.
Have a great day. Happy holidays if I don't see you before the new year.
Yeah, you too.
All right, see you.